Hello twin flame friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. Hello to all my new subscribers, so happy to have you join us. I'm very honoured to share this journey with you. It's a crazy one, we need each other, we're stronger together. If you haven't already come over and joined us on the Facebook group, please do. You can find the link to that in the description box below. So many happy twins over there ready to help you and support you on this journey. I know it can be a lonely one if you've got no one that understands to talk to about it. So we're all there for you over there. And if you're curious about my classes, you can find information about that on my website. Also information on how to book a private reading with me over there. And also to look at all my other services. I do spirit release therapy, twin flame connection checks if you're not certain that you are a twin, all that kind of jazz. That's happysouls1111.com. You can also find me on Insta at happysouls1111. Okay, so I've got a reading for you today to have a look at the overall energies in your connection. We're going to look at the divine feminine and the masculine energies, and just have a look at what's happening. What do you need to know? What messages need to be brought forward? Perhaps get a message from your masculine as well, or a message from each of you. That'd be nice, won't it? Okay. So let's do this. What are the energies in your connection right now? It's very intense. Post this 1010 portal. Heading towards the 1111 portal, the union portal. Let's have a look. See what's going down. Okay. Divine feminine. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to get a significator. I'm going to use this Queen of the Moon Oracle. Let's get a significator for each of you. So, pile 1 is the Himalayan quartz of fluorite. I will put the crystal names in the pile timestamps. So we've got resilience and pleasure for the masculine. I'm going to get one for the connecting energy. We've got faith in the centre. Now, for a lot of you, your faith will be being tested. You know, when union energies come about, there's also a lot of darkness floating about trying to interfere with that. And there's been a lot of doubt circulating in the collective. So, you know, this needs to be brought back into balance. But we'll talk more about that as we get into the reading. So, divine feminine. We've got strength in reverse for the current energies. We've got the lovers. And we've got the wheel of fortune. The masculine, we've got the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of, in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, and the Seven of Swords in reverse. So these are the current energies between you. Let's look at what you're feeling and thinking about the connection. Divine feminine, we've got the Six of Swords. Got the Six of Cups, lots of sixes for you over here, Ace of Wands in reverse. For the masculine, we've got the High Priestess in reverse. Got the Six of Pentacles, nearly all the sixes out. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. That's interesting, you've both got an ace in reverse in the same spot. What do you need to do to move forward? Divine feminine, Hierophant in reverse. Seven of Wands in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse, masculine. What do we need to do to move forward? What do I need to do to move forward? A Page of Cups. Three of Cups in reverse. Two of Pentacles in reverse. I'm going to put those over there. I'm going to use the Viceversa Tarot to get some connecting energies to put down the centre here. I'm going to pull some oracle cards as well, but I think I'm going to do that at the end because we've not got a lot of room. Might pull a couple just to get a feel. Right, connecting energies. We've got the Three of Pentacles. Well, I'm going to keep both of those. Oh, there's four. I'm going to keep the first two and put the others back. So we've got the Eight of Swords and the Magician in reverse as the connecting energies here. Really feel the need to riffle shuffle these again before I pull the next one. Okay, part 1, what's happening in your connection? We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay. So, resilience, divine feminine. I feel like you have turned resilience into an art form. You've been so diligent, and what I'm picking up as well is this is despite many hardships and many challenges and many obstacles. You're being really strong, but I feel like the pressure, the burden of this is breaking you. You're at breaking point. We've got strength in reverse here and yet resilience upright. And I feel that you've been really strong, but you feel like you're running out of steam. There's a real need to just kind of release the pressure, to let go. So you may be feeling very tired, very exhausted, very kind of wild, weary, and just like, oh man, really, how much more of this can I take? How much more of this do I have to carry? If you've not watched my video, What Do I Need to Release, that I posted last week, the energy of this card really is coming through strong. For this release that's required. So it might, if you've not watched that video already, it might really help you to go back and watch that. But I feel like you're very tired. You're just tired. You know, you're kind of wondering how much longer do I have to do this for? And your faith is definitely being tested. For the masculine, we've got him in pleasure, and this is a really hedonistic energy. It's a number 9, which, you know, can indicate self-indulgence, perhaps being quite self-absorbed, quite selfish, you know, and in this energy of kind of, you know, just not thinking about anybody else but himself. But also perhaps finding some joy in life again after a period of darkness. So, you know, I feel like intuitively there's been some transformation with him, and that actually him experiencing pleasure is a big step forward from where he has actually been. So this person could be coming out of a dark night of the soul, you know, having released a lot of anxiety, and is finally finding some zest for life again, but it's still very contained. It's a very selfish kind of, I need to take care of me energy, which is fine. You know, we've got to take care of ourselves first, but it might feel a bit rough on the feminine. Faith. I feel like your faith is really being tested, and for a lot of you this is because this lady is pregnant here, and I feel like she feels like the clock is ticking on fertility. Perhaps for some of you that's going to resonate, for some it's not. Just take it as it works for you. But there's a need to restore balance and harmony as far as the perception of the connection is concerned, because there's a real feeling of time running out and of questioning and of doubt. You know, it's interesting that it says faith and not lack of faith, but I am picking up this lack of faith, this like, and as I said, there's a theme running through the collective of this right now, this faith, this lack of faith, this wanting to give up, this feeling of exhaustion. I feel like that the feminine is really in that place. So if your biological clock is ticking and you're kind of like, oh God, is this ever going to come to be? Am I wasting my time? Do I need to move on? You know, this is very frustrating energies for you to reside in, but just be aware that this 10-10 portal has brought about a tremendous amount of pressure, especially as we move towards that 11-11 portal of union energies. It's big pressure. But I feel like divine feminine, you know, despite this feeling of just, God, I've got nothing left in me, I'm tired, you're hanging on. You're at the end of the rope, but you're hanging on, and you're dealing with a lot of anxiety. It's grounded in love. You know, we've got the lovers here, which is a real need to pull together with your masculine and to help him through this. And this Wheel of Fortune card, of course, is a number 10. It's about, you know, the wheel turning, these new cycles coming to fruition. I feel like, you know, you're sticking with it and you're pushing through it, and you're, you know, there's no resistance here, even though there's tiredness and this kind of, you know, this feeling of just never ending endurance. I do feel like you're kind of, you know, you're this cycle, you're moving through it powerfully. You know what needs to be done. For the masculine, we've got the, you know, 3 reversals: Page of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, 7 of Swords, all reverse. And I feel like he really wants to come forward with an offer, with a message, with an apology, perhaps some kind of small gift or token of his affection, token of his sorrow, his apologies. But he's afraid to speak the truth. I feel like, you know, he's with this 7 of Swords energy, I'm really intrigued by this pirate. He's got one eye covered, this pirate panda. He's holding on to the truth. The truth brings him hope. There's a star here, but there's a peacock feather here, which can indicate a lot of ego, which is holding him back from that truth. Things are still too cloudy, and I don't think he sees the full truth himself. That's why there's one eye covered here. He's not fully integrated the truth, so he's therefore not ready to come forward with it. But I really see him spending a lot of time digging deep. In fact, this panda even holds a spade, digging deep and really trying to figure this out. And there is definitely a desire here to come forward. We've got the Three of Pentacles here. 3 being the number of the Empress, and I really think there's a kind of, the connecting energies is one of wanting to work this out, wanting to create something new together. But it looks to me like that's not actually happening at the moment. It's just a desire. And I think the Divine Feminine really wants to help her masculine, but she's just not, perhaps getting that kind of reciprocation from him, the contact from him, and he's really holding back because he just doesn't know how to approach this. As I said, there's a lot of ego in the way here that's stopping him from coming forward with his truth and also affecting his faith. I feel like he swings between really hoping, really really just feeling optimistic and wanting the best out of this connection, and then telling himself, that ego, fear-based voice sneaks in and starts saying, well, it's never going to happen. Who do you think you are? So a lot of self-worth issues here as well. Thinking and feeling, I feel like the Divine Feminine is constantly on the edge of giving up. I feel like she's just... 6 is the number of love, and there's a lot of 6s come through on the Divine Feminine side, including the Lovers. There's also a 6 of Pentacles over here for the masculine. But I feel like the Divine Feminine is on the edge of just giving up, of just, sailing away from all of this. Just hard work is how it feels at the moment. But she's not, in this card... traditionally in the 6 of Swords, we see a couple sailing away from stormy waters into calmer waters. In this card, you see, this panda looking at this little paper boat. It's very fragile, which indicates to me this desire to sail away isn't strong, but it's there. And she's just watching. She's, do I take that leap? Do I take that leap? Do I go? Do I let go? That desire's in you. But there's also... this loyalty here, and this need to protect your cups, to protect your love, to protect what you've built, to protect what you've worked for. And I'm really being drawn to this pink hat that's being worn in this card, which, kind of indicates this very spiritually based thought process right now. Being really in tune with her emotions and identifying. You've done a lot of work if you've chosen this pile. I feel like you're really able to identify those painful triggers and these desires to run as they come up. But she's very much frustrated by the lack of physical contact and physical intimacy, the lack of reciprocation from her masculine. She doesn't feel seen or heard. She doesn't feel respected or valued. There's a real distinct lack of appreciation that she's sensing from her masculine, like this has all been in vain. And I feel this is where the faith wavers, because I feel like she has faith in the journey, but it's very hard to hold on to that faith in any hope of union when the masculine is so detached and so unyielding and not really bringing much to the equation. I feel like he's very frustrated by the spiritual aspects of this connection. I feel like he swings between thinking it's all quite miraculous, magical and wonderful and very interesting and intriguing, and then really resenting it because it makes him feel vulnerable and powerless. And this is again clarified by this connecting energy of the Magician in reverse. And of course, 2 cards came up here. And the Magician in reverse is on the masculine side. And there's a little bit of envy as well here of just like, I feel like he feels that she's got one up on him because she's more in tune spiritually. She has access to this kind of higher wisdom. And this makes him feel very vulnerable and not equal. And I feel like his ego is challenged when it comes to equality anyway, because there are a lot of worthiness issues here for this masculine, and he's aware that he's not giving and equally, that he knows that is out of balance, and that he's feeling he needs to bring it back into balance, but he doesn't know how. The Six of Pentacles in this card features a family. And it could be that for some of you, the feminine has children, the masculine doesn't. And perhaps there's this perception of, if he was to move forward with this connection, it's not just about loving you, it's about loving a whole new group of people. And that's an extra layer of commitment and reciprocation that's going to be required of him, which I feel for some of them, I mean, that might not be the case for you, might not have kids, but for some of them that's a concern. Can he, and this is ego talk here, but it's this: can I provide? Can I be that person? Can I be there in that way? Do I actually have anything of value to offer? And for those of you that don't have kids and you're feeling this clock ticking, I think that's also a fear for him, that knowing that perhaps you're of an age where you need to get a move on. You need to, if you're going to have kids, it needs to be fairly soon. And of him feeling, just very, very insecure and unworthy and unprepared for those kind of energies, because he just doesn't see himself as being stable enough to offer that. There's also, with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse here, and it's coming up in this same row as the Seven of Swords in reverse and the Two of Pentacles in reverse, that he wants that brand new start, he wants to embrace it, but there's a tremendous amount of fear holding him back. The other one with the connecting energy, which is coming up on the feminine side, but obviously these are energies that are shared by both parties, is the Eight of Swords. And this is about very limiting self-beliefs, about neither party seeing the truth of this cycle they're trapped in, of being trapped in their own fear-based thought process, their own anxieties, and so not being able to move forward. And I think both of them feel, the feelings that are coming up, perhaps not so significantly for the feminine, but certainly, this is in both of you. But the feelings that are coming up, these fear-based feelings, are blocking you from the truth, blocking you from moving forward. It's particularly strong in the masculine. His ego is on the floor right now, and but I feel like for both of you, there's this need to take off the blindfold, to take off these bindings, this self-entrapment that you created for yourself. And it's just going round and round and round and round and round and round, back and forward, round and round. This is what still needs to be resolved and still needs to be healed. In terms of how you need to move forward, we've got everything reversed here for the Divine Feminine. I'm reading this as these are the energies that need to be unblocked. And the first one out is the Hierophant. And, this is about, I feel like for this Divine Feminine, you've done an incredible amount of research and studying, and you've really intellectually integrated what's required of you of this journey. You've made fabulous healing process, but there's a need now to push forward to complete this cycle, to actually put all of that learning into action and to make those changes. And I feel like, please don't take this in a derogatory way, because I mean it in the kindest possible light, and this happens to all of us, but I feel like you're really confident and perhaps, a bit of a know-it-all when it comes to this journey, sort of like, I know I need to do, this is what needs to happen and this is what needs to happen, and you've kind of really strongly integrated all of that teaching, but you're not acting upon it in your own journey. You're not taking those steps for yourself. There's also a need to release your barriers and to face the fire, because boundaries are healthy, but barriers just create blockages for you. And when I say face the fire, I mean facing the triggers, facing the kind of emotional burden that's locked up within you that still needs to be brought to the surface and released. You've done a tremendous amount of healing, but I feel like in recent times, your healing's been very focused on your masculine, and you need to turn that inwards and also let your barriers down so that he can communicate with you, and that you can see things more clearly. With the Queen of Cups in reverse, for me, what's coming through really strongly with this card, often it's about unconditional love, but for me this is unconditional love for self, and in particular facing childhood wounds. That's going to be a very transformative process for you, to take that cup for yourself, to allow yourself the time and space to really dig deep and work through all those emotional childhood kind of traumas and incidents through which you perceive all relationships now. So it's kind of a final piece of the puzzle for you is what I'm hearing. And you may feel like you've already done this, but I'm guided there's more for you to do. There's more. You've got to go back through it. You've grown so much that there's more there that you couldn't address before because you didn't have the right perspective. You were still, you weren't evolved enough, but you are now, and you need to face that again. You need to be aware there's more work to do on the inner child wounds. The masculine really needs to be a bit more yielding and come forward with at least some very playful, light-hearted communication to open the lines of communication again, to offer his feminine that reassurance, because she's really struggling, her faith's being tested, and she really does feel on the verge of giving up. And I feel like these very kind of, what's the word? The energies from the masculine of just not caring, of just not being there at all, of not giving anything, are really, really testing her patience and her faith and her doubt. And this is why she's kind of got that blindfold on. She wants to have faith in this journey, but you need to throw a girl a bone. And there's a real need here to make an offering of some sort, a small bunch of flowers, a little poem, a card, even just some, really more affectionate kind of communication even would be enough. But there's a need here to just be more light-hearted, more playful, more communicative, and definitely more affectionate. I'm feeling for some masculines, and this won't apply to all, but there's definitely a karmic cycle that feels like it has closed out, but there's unresolved karma there. There's lessons that still haven't been learned. And it might be that this person has let the karmic partner go, but they're still dwelling in that karmic energy because they've not actually fully released it. They've not learned their lessons. And this masculine also needs to be open to that new start and to change. He needs to stop looking at the what ifs of this situation, because I feel like he's looking too long term, and he's asking questions of himself like, what if I need to do this and do that, and what if I can't do this and that? But you need to take it one step at a time and just focus on the here and now and the connection with your feminine. The connecting energy here is the Ace of Swords reversed, and there's an eagle in this card carrying a wreath, which is a symbolic of some kind of victory, and this is spiritual victory. But there's mountains in the background and this sword of truth. And I feel like, the truth is available to you, but there's a bit more to go. You're kind of approaching the summit of that mountain, the summit of that spiritual victory. And for the masculine who's feeling very frustrated by his own lack of inner wisdom and perhaps feeling somewhat less than the feminine because he's not got that intuition, he really needs to release that and to just do the work. That's available to you also, if only you will turn inwards and face the truth, which we've got the Ace of Swords up here reversed for you, that the masculine's not ready to face the truth, but it's available to him. But he does have to do that healing work. He's got to climb that mountain. And you have to remember, I don't think masculines really watch these videos really, but just in case, or if you get a chance to communicate this to your masculine, you have to remember that we're made of the same stuff. Yeah, we share energy with our twins. We share a soul with them. Your twin skill is, to a degree, going to be something that you're going to share. And you're going to be able to tap into also. And certainly from a spiritual perspective, that's very, very true. If your twin's an Olympic athlete, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to match that. But, at the end of the day, we're cut from the same cloth. And certainly as far as spirituality, intuition, and this spiritual higher wisdom is concerned, both parties certainly are, very old souls that are able to tap into that aspect of their connection. So it is available to you, DM, if you're watching this, but he needs to realize that for himself, that he needs to heal, and that he can tap into that too if he will only listen to his own heart and push his ego aside. So let's pull some oracle cards. What else do you need to know about this connection? What does Spirit want to bring forward? What's coming forward? These are the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards. They're a gift from Alina. Thank you, Alina. She's actually got her own channel now, which has taken off and just exploded. It's called Ali's Tarot. Do go and check it out. She's lovely. Okay, what else do you need to know? inner journey. Ancient wisdom. There you go, Mr. Masculine. That ancient wisdom is yours too. Self-love is the connecting energy for both. So, you know, divine feminine, inner journey is a number 8. And, you know, I feel like you've been going round and round and round in circles and you're just missing things. But you need to stay on that inner journey and accept it's an ongoing process. I hear so many divine feminines say to me, but I've healed so much. I'm already healed. I'm healed. I'm healed. What, really? There's more? There's always more. It's an ongoing process. It's infinite. It's never ending. And that's the beauty of growth and expansion. That lotus flower is always blooming and opening a bit more. So you need to stick with it. For the masculine, you know, we've got this inner wisdom. This is also a number 7. I beg your pardon. It's actually called ancient wisdom. And this is reminding us that, you know, the masculine also has access to this higher wisdom, to this ancient wisdom that exists in both of you. Divine feminine, you need to get more connected with your truth. And this wheel that's turning, it's asking you to practice discernment, to stay focused on your path. There's a step you haven't taken yet. And I'm getting that this is about moving towards full surrender energies and that stillness. I talked in my video, Rise Sister Rise, about how, you know, arriving at this journey, it's like water crashing down mountains and so forth. And we eventually arrive at the ocean. And our job is to keep the ocean still. And I feel like you've not quite made your way to that main body of water, but it's beckoning you. And you need to connect with it. That path is illuminated and open for you. You just need to keep taking it. And it's taking you towards your masculine. And this is also a number 6 card. You know, these have been very strong for you. And, you know, when it comes to practicing discernment, this is about being able to identify your own truth because you are still, because you've taken that journey, because you're able to connect with your own higher wisdom when you're still, as opposed to when those waters are choppy and you're anxious, you know. But your masculine is at the end of this journey. He's there waiting for you. Beautiful changes coming for you too. And you just need to show that strength of will now to bring everything back into balance and harmony, to recognize your truth, to tap into that intuition. Change can, you know, this is the thunder moon. Change can create kind of temporary upheaval and fresh obstacles, and, you know, it pushes us out of our comfort zone. But I'm really guided that you just need to embrace that. In this card, this lady is pushing away an egg. You know, she's pushing away this rebirth. She's pushing away creation. She's not ready for change. But you need to really exert your strength of will now and embrace it, to take that path. To, you know, you're being asked to move towards union energies. And I guess this is revealing everything in you that doesn't feel ready for that. You know, I feel like your logical self is like, come on, my clock's ticking, you know, I want to do this. But actually, as you approach union energies, your barriers go up and you're not actually open, yielding and ready for this union energies. So you really need to dig deep and figure out what is within you that is still reacting with fear and anxiety in this connection, because union is definitely being pressed upon you, if only you will choose to accept it and allow it. So you need to focus on that transformation, focus on getting beneath the surface of your emotions. This is a very powerful image. This lady's in this bubble, her face is half submerged and there's a butterfly crowning her head. You know, focus on that beautiful transformation of getting beneath the surface of those emotional triggers that you're experiencing. The masculine, you know, he's definitely been in a dark night of the soul, but, you know, better times are coming for him. We've got abundance and acceptance here. And I feel like this is acceptance of the connection, acceptance of his masculine role, acceptance of what is, acceptance of the need for transformation and to bring things back into harmony. But he feels your energy very strongly. I feel like he finds that both exhilarating and terrifying all at once. It makes him feel very, very vulnerable. But more abundant times, there's a lot of growth coming for him. As he comes out of this darkness and begins to find pleasure in life again. So, you know, for some of you, this is definitely your DM coming out of that dark night of the soul and accepting what this connection is, of trying to, you know, release the fear that surrounds it. We've got purity here, and I feel like, you know, this is snow moon, but, you know, snow kind of covers up what is. It kind of covers everything in that blanket of purity, and it doesn't reveal that, you know, the sludge and all the stuff beneath the surface. So I do feel like he, you know, as he comes out of the darkness, this is perhaps the polar opposite extreme, that he's not seeing things as clearly. There's a need now that he's just coming out of the depressive episode, to just blanket over everything. And that's not going to serve him, because he really needs to address, now that he's in a better place, all of those wounds. But I feel like at the moment he's ignoring that. And in this deck, we see this person actually, their eyes are covered. They're breathing deep. They're able to kind of express themselves more easily, but they're not ready to see the whole truth and all of the truth. It's like they're still, just covering things up. We've got protection. And do you know what? I'm guided that we all need this right now. As I said, there's a lot of dark energies floating around the collective. As we approach 11/11 and union becomes more of a reality for many, many twins, and we're all being pushed towards it. The darker forces certainly step up their dirty work, and this is why there's so much doubt, fear and resistance circling around the collective. So you're definitely being called to protect yourself and your masculine, but I also think he's feeling very protective towards you. I think he's been triggered quite hard by seeing your strength waver and your own vulnerabilities. Perhaps you've always been this kind of powerhouse of really strong kind of alpha female power, and that's kind of, your guard's been down because you've just been so tired and so stressed. And allowing him to see that vulnerability has really allowed him to, I guess, for love to flow to you in a different way, into a more masculine way. I feel like this was very unexpected for him. These divine changes are very unexpected for him. He's found himself in a much different energy from where he was before. So I'm going to pull 2 more of these for each of you. What else do you need to know about your connection? What else do you need to know? Magician in the mirror. So divine feminine, I know that your masculine is trapped in fear-based ego, but this is being mirrored back at you. And this is also a number 8 card. It comes around. The magician has that number 8 over its head. So, what is being mirrored back at you as far as these ego-based concerns as well? How is your ego holding you back? You really need to confront this. We've got Angel of Strength here. And again, that's the number 5. Be strong. Allow this change. Keep moving forward. I'm going to get one more. Angel of Balance. So, it's going to be down to you to bring things back into balance and to integrate this truth, to release these limiting beliefs and to come back into faith. The feminine is always the leader until she's passed the baton to the masculine, which only happens when she's fully surrendered and still. She has to lead the way. And it's down to you to bring this back into harmony and balance right now. He's not going to be able to do that without you leading the way there. For the masculine, we've got Angel of Love, and I'm really feeling that he really does need to come forward. He needs to, step up and make some kind of offer. He needs to be more real, more vulnerable, more affectionate, more expressive. He definitely needs to show his feminine some love, so that this is what's going to help her bring your things back into balance. This is what's going to reaffirm her faith. We've got Healer of the Ages and Appreciation. And again, these are both number 6 cards. In order to heal yourself, you need to appreciate what she's already done. You need to show her some love and appreciation, because I feel like she's feeling very rejected, very dejected. And this is what's created this imbalance in the journey. I feel like she's gone from being in a really strong place to just being broken by your lack of reciprocation. And just, the lack of affirming behaviours that helps her stay strong. It doesn't mean you have to rush forward with a really tangible, powerful offer, but, that there is some, you just need to show that she's appreciated and valued. We've got a Dark Night of the Soul also for the masculine. This is also number 5. So I really feel like he's coming out of this now, but that burn is still tickling at the edges, even though the bridge is illuminated. And you've got a lot of fire in this healing card as well. Trust that you've got that ability to heal yourself just like she had. He needs to go on that inner journey. He needs to be in that hermit energy, which may means he needs to stay in his own energy, away from you, divine feminine. But, for the masculine, you can take that solitude, but it doesn't stop you from reaching out and just offering her some reassurance. Right, 2 more for the feminine. Narcissus energy and running away. So I feel like this Narcissus energy isn't actually in you. It's one of your fears. And I feel like you've dealt with many narcissistic relationships before, and this above all else, when you see this kind of narcissistic behavior, it's what triggers you to run harder than anything. And again, this is number 8. This is one of your limiting self-beliefs and this desire to kind of give in and run. I know that it appears that in him not giving anything, it really just, being quite self-absorbed, that can come across as narcissism. But you're being asked to look at how, this trigger relates to something in your past and a sensitivity to those kind of behaviours. Because I really don't think that, his behaviours are driven by true narcissism. I really think this is just, an imbalance within the connection right now, and that's how he's presenting, but it's not personal, and he's definitely not a narcissistic. So if there's been fears of repeating the same mistakes, making really poor choices, or being drawn to that narcissistic energy again, you can let that go. There's no narcissism here. It's just contained energy, because he's not in the place he needs to be able to reciprocate equally. But I do think he's going to come forward with some kind of apology, some kind of message, just to let you know that you are on his mind, and he's sorry he's not around more. He's sorry he can't give you what you need yet, but he needs that time for himself. So, that felt like a fast and furious reading today. It's flowing hard and fast. I really hope that helped for you, part 1. Please do like, share and subscribe. I beg you. Hitting that like button helps me so much. It encourages YouTube to promote my videos. Even if you hit the downvote, that too. Any engagement is really good for me. So please do take the time to like, comment down below, make a note of which pile you chose. So if you want to come back and, choose another pile next time, you know which one you've already watched, because that's sometimes really helpful. There may be a message in the other piles that isn't relevant to you now, but could be next week or last week. Same for my old videos. Go and check them out. But I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Okay, pile 2. I feel like I've got verbal diarrhea today. I literally have not paused for breath. I'm talking at a million miles an hour. These messages are coming through strong and fast. Okay, I'm going to pull some oracle cards first to get a significator for each of you in the connecting energies. We're looking at the divine feminine on the left, divine masculine on the right, and we're asking what is happening in your connection. What do you need to know? What's going down? What are the energies between you at the moment? How are you both thinking and feeling? What do you need to do to move forward for your highest good? So for the feminine, we've got self-reflection. For the masculine, we've got acceptance. That's beautiful. And the connecting energy here is action. That's wonderful. That's what we like to see. Okay. So let's choose some cards. Feminine first. What are the current energies between you? What's going on in your connection right now? What are the energies in your connection? Divine feminine, we've got the 8 of cups. That's on that inner journey. We've got the wheel of fortune. That also came up for pile 1. And we've got the magician in the reverse, which actually came up as the connecting energy for pile 1. Okay, what energies is the masculine in? We've got the hermit. We have got the tower. And we have got the 7 of cups in reverse. How's each of you thinking and feeling about this connection? The feminine, we've got the ace of swords. We've got the ace of wands. And we've got death. That's Scorpio energy. Of course, it's new moon today. Or it was last night, I beg your pardon. So happy new moon. Scorpio new moon. That's a dark, dark sign. It's about transformation. And out with the old, in with the new. After that 10-10 portal, these are very intense energies. How's your masculine feeling? 4 of cups. Page of cups. The Hanged Man is called the Hanged Muse in this deck. What do you both need to do to move forward for your highest good? Queen of Wands. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. And Justice. And what about the masculine? What does he need to do to move forward? We've got Judgment. It's called Awakening in this deck. 5 of Pentacles. And the Ace of Cups. So lots of aces for you guys. Okay, I'm going to use the Viceversa Tarot for the connecting energies down the centre. I apologise that I do literally I'm on fast forward today. Everything's just coming out so quick. It happens like that sometimes. The downloads come so hard and fast. I don't even know what I'm saying most of the time. It's just like blah, 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 blah. That's how it feels today. There's no pause. There's no hesitation. I just keep speaking and out it comes. Okay. We have got the moon in reverse. The 4 of Cups, and that's come up for the masculine here, and the 7 of Cups, which has also come up for the masculine up here. Okay, so the Divine Feminine, she's going through this period of self-reflection, and this is deep. You know, this is such an interesting card. She's looking at the mirror. What's really interesting is there's twins in this mirror. One is facing the mirror and one has their back to it, and they're kind of up to their necks in water. This is up to their necks in emotion. And what this is saying to me is that, you know, this is also a number 8 card, by the way. You've got the 8 of Cups here, which is that inner journey, self-reflection and so forth. But what this is saying to me is this is being mirrored in both of you. You know, all of these triggers, all of these new understandings, these realizations, this taking a long, hard look at self is being mirrored by both counterparts. So a lot of what's coming up may not make sense to you, Divine Feminine, and that's because, you know, you're transmuting and processing part of your twin's experience and feelings as well as your own. For the masculine, we've got acceptance. And this is a number 4 card. That's the card of the Emperor of masculine energy. There's loads of doves here of peace. There's the moon, which represents intuition. And it's surrounded by blue and white, which is spiritual truth. This is crown truth. Okay, this is divine knowing. And I feel like this masculine is ready to accept this connection. That's not to say he's rushing forward. I need to read the other stuff. But he's reached a level of acceptance. And if you've told him what this twin flame stuff is and he's rejected it before, he's arrived at the point where he's accepting that now. And that acceptance has brought in some peace. But he intuitively understands, because of all the syncs, all the weirdness, you know, all of the strange energies between you. He can't find any other explanation for all of that. So, you know, he's got some context now. He understands, and he's moved into a place of acceptance. Now, the connecting energy here is action, and this is a number 6 card. It's about love, and it's the waxing gibbous moon, number 6. So lots of loving energy, and this is, you know, intuitively guided. We've got this moon energy here, and as I said, this Scorpio energy is very transformative, and of course Scorpio is taking us through this 1111 portal. That is Scorpio energy. It's transformative, and it's, you know, these are union energies. So this is very positive for you too. I feel like, you know, all of this hard work that the Divine Feminine's doing has been paying off, and the masculine is in a place of acceptance and willingness to you know, he's come to terms with what this connection is. For the Divine Feminine, I feel like this self-reflection, this inner work she's been doing, this solo journey of facing her own darkness and getting to know herself, you know, with this 1010 portal, she's been triggered really hard again. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here, and I feel like she's been thrown off balance once more from being on top of the world and feeling great. All of a sudden, it's like everything's being churned up again. And I feel like her ego has taken a bit of a battering, and she's beginning to question, you know, whether she can really manifest everything that she desires. And I'm feeling this isn't just her masculine. This is about perhaps, you know, everything is suddenly more turbulent in life again. And of course, when we fall out of alignment with ourselves, that's what happens. Everything gets kind of unbalanced, and the waters are choppy, and that can affect all areas of your life. So I feel like this Divine Feminine is suddenly feeling a little bit powerless, because she's in this very emotional energy of self-reflection, and the wheel has turned so far hard and so quickly and so forcefully that it's kind of knocked her out of balance and knocked her off her feet. I feel like the masculines had also had this tower moment, and I'm really guided that we've got, you know, these thunderbolts in both of these cards. One has brought truth and acceptance, but, you know, this is a heart trigger. You know, this is like some kind of divine, you know, tower is number 16, which reduces to 7. This is some kind of like divine thunderbolt that has come out of nowhere, and probably from this period of solitude, introspection, of him hermiting and really keeping self to himself. I'm getting that he's ruminating very deeply about all of this, and then out of nowhere this truth has just come crashing in on him and starting to dissolve all of his shadow aspects, starting to dissolve all those karmic cycles. It's left him feeling very indecisive, unbalanced, and But I feel like he knows now what's real and what isn't. He's let go of illusion, and as I said, he's come to this place of acceptance. He's understanding that all of these shadow aspects are dissolving so that he can come into union with self. Both parties are quite afraid of moving forward with this moon in reverse. And I feel like with this 11-11 portal and this Scorpio moon pushing that transformation, driving forwards this action, that you're actually both quite scared now that you're there. And, you know, these dogs here, they're kind of looking up at this moon. And, I mean, the crab is swimming away from it. You know, those two towers are there, but you've kind of got to trust that the moon is about fear and illusions, and also trusting those steps in the dark. And I feel like both of you are just, you know, there's acceptance, there's understanding, there's a desire to take action, but there's fear. There's fear between you in these energies at the moment as well. As far as what you're thinking and feeling, the divine feminine, you know, this is such an interesting Ace of Swords, because we can see that there's this owl representing wisdom here. There's this banner of celebration. And then there's this kind of divine download, this kind of shock of white that's coming into the feminine's head. And she's turning away from it. She's not facing the celebration. She's not facing the wisdom. She's not ready to fully integrate the truth. This is the first step, though. She's on the right path. The Ace of Wands shows us a very similar image, except she's more receptive. She's receptive to this colour, this spiritual energy. So for me, this is about, you know, this is a battle between the spiritual self and the logical self, you know, and that transformation with this Death card here is going to help bring everything back into balance. This Scorpio season is going to be a really powerful shift for this divine feminine. But right now there's this battle between her spiritual self and logical self that she's kind of fighting. She's ready for this new start, and she knows that this is a transformative period for her, but she's feeling very unsettled, very uncertain about the connection, unsure if it's actually going to lead anywhere tangible. The masculine's got that Four of Cups, and that's him really not identifying the opportunities that are being presented to him. The Four of Cups is also the connecting energy. So I feel like both are feeling a bit hard done by at the moment, perhaps not understanding that these energies are actually integrating truth. They're actually helping you move forward, but it can feel like a period of stagnation and upheaval and challenging. And you've just got to see past that and understand that it's this kind of upheaval that's going to create this positive way forward for you both. But he's definitely so stuck in his emotions that he's not actually able to see what is on offer. And as I said, this Four of Cups energy, that's what connects you both at the moment. You're both feeling that, just kind of so deeply in your own emotional trauma, or dramas even, that you're not seeing it. But I do feel like his heart has lit up and he is ready to come forward. And this may be a very light-hearted, you know, he's thinking about how to, you know, just open the lines of communication with you. I'm getting real lumps in my throat as I read this card, which is showing me, you know, he just doesn't know what to say. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear of rejection. There's a lot of fear of stepping into that new energy with you, because I feel like you've probably been in separation for a while. He's been in this hermit mode, but the tower has come down and he's reached that acceptance. He's surrendered to this journey and what it is. And he might not have surrendered to his own healing yet, but I feel like there's a need in him. There's this overwhelming compulsion to communicate with you, and he's just not sure how. There's a lot of resistance, a lot of fears surrounding that. In terms of what you need to do to move forward, we've got the Queen of Wands, and this is about really embracing your spiritual power. And I'm guided, you know, you don't need to get your head in the right place. When you embrace your spiritual power, the head will follow, is what I'm hearing very, very strongly here. And what's really interesting about this, it kind of feels like a progression of these cards, because they've got all these colourful energies coming down the left side, her divine feminine side, which is what we see here in the Ace of Wands. And then we've got this beam of white light coming straight into her third eye on the right side, which is the masculine side, which is, you know, coming into her crown and connecting with her third eye, that deep wisdom and knowing. So you need to remain open to spirit. And even though you've been feeling a lot of upheaval, perhaps too emotional to connect in that way, now is the time to bring yourself into spiritual balance. There's 3 pyramids here. 3 is the number of creation, the divine feminine, you know, that powerful feminine energy of just creating that new way forward by being open to the truth, by being open to those downloads that are going to help integrate it for you. We've got the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is really about bringing your expectations of this connection back into balance. And with Justice here, you know, we actually see this person being broken open. So I really feel like there's a need for you to operate from a point of fairness and justice and balance, and to take the path of light. So there may have been something in you that's been quite angry and frustrated with your divine masculine, and you're being asked to move down the path of light and not the one of dark, to be fair, to be yielding, to be open to receive from your masculine, because he's not going to come forward with big, real, tangible offers right now. He's not ready for that. But he is going to want to come forward with something, and you need to take the path of light. Don't be too rigid and harsh or, you know, angry with him. The masculine, you know, his soul is calling him to wake up. And, you know, with this 5 of Pentacles, it's about coming in from the cold now. You know, this feels like a powerful message saying you don't have to be on the outside looking in. You don't have to reside in darkness. The light is calling you. And if only you will answer that soul's call. And he knows this now. There is an acceptance of this, but I feel like he doesn't know how to do it. But this is really a beautiful, brand new emotional beginning for him. This self-reflection, you know, the divine feminine's been doing. He's just at the beginning of that process. He's not quite ready to fully integrate it, but he's there. He's beginning. He's at the, you know, he's at the bottom of the hill ready to climb up. My God, barely paused for breath. So the 7 of Cups here is the connecting energy, is about illusions, and I'm recognizing that there is only one choice, and that is the light. And that's what you're both being guided towards. And as long as you keep facing true north, you know, the North Star, that beautiful light, just keep facing it, everything will become clear. The divine is always guiding you, is what I'm hearing. Oh man, fast and furious. Right, let's get some oracle cards. I'm going to get some shamanic healing cards first. What do you need to know? What else do you need to know about this connection? Stripping illusions. You know, that's what's coming very strongly for both of you in past, present and future. Integrating your understanding. Stripping those illusions back. Recognizing the truth. Moving forward with brevity and courage. New beginnings to the masculine. He really has stepped into acceptance and discernment. And for me, that, you know, this is about the masculine understanding when to reach out and when to hold back, because there's a need for him to come forward right now to say something, to express his acceptance, to accept his awareness, and also to answer that soul's call, to be aware of what love is offering him. You know, this is all happening for him now. This is a beautiful new beginning that he can be open to. Divine Feminine, you still need to be patient. You know, that portal is still drawing you in. You need to give yourself lots of self-love at this time, and to not allow yourself to stray into darkness. That's just going to take you out of balance. There is a lot of abundance coming your way, a lot of growth, a lot of change. As I said, this kind of upheaval can feel really unsettling, and sometimes when we're stuck in the thick of it, we can't see the wood for the trees. We can't see what's beyond all of these challenges and obstacles. But you've got to trust that you're going to come through this period. It may have felt like it's been long and harsh, but you're going to come through it into a really bountiful, abundant time. You know, you are being asked to, and this is the first quarter moon, this is in the moon we're in at the moment, and you're being asked to assess and look with your third eye, with your intuition, to look through the dark, and to look with the light instead. You know, you don't need to be in the dark. And beauty, you know, to understand that this is a beautiful journey, that this change is powerful for you, that there is beauty and joy and expansion, and it may feel harsh and messy right now, but it's actually a beautiful gift. resilience. This came up for pile 1. There are some syncs here. Maybe you should watch pile 1 also. But you're being asked to endure now, you know, to be resilient, because it feels like you're at the final hurdle of the journey here. You're both being pushed towards action. Your masculine's being pushed to take action. Most of this action is going to be taken inwards for him because he needs to heal himself. But I feel like there's definitely going to be some communication here from him. And he needs to bring himself back into balance. He needs to complete, you know, that karmic resolution and learning that he's been stuck in, to get his head out of the clouds and to face the light, so that everything can come to fruition, so that he can embrace his own abundance as well. So much good things coming for you too. The void. So again, you know, you're both in danger of straying into the dark here. And I feel like this is where he may have been for a long time, just literally feeling like nothingness, stillness, that eerie silence of just the void. And you don't want to stray back there. Fear, you know, there's a lot of fear and doubt in the collective at the moment. And, you know, I feel like he's always in danger of being sucked back into it. But he's being reborn. He's seeing the light. He's seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. He's going within. He's looking for answers. That tower has come crumbling down, and the only way is up for him. And we've got wisdom. You know, he's starting to tap in to his own intuition. He's starting to understand that. And study. I'm getting he's starting to study. He's starting to Google and research things and try and figure this journey out for himself. He's aware this is a soul connection, if not a twin flame connection. This person has come to some acceptance and conclusion. We've got man holding a heart and caring connections. So be open to your DM. Be open to any care or love he extends to you, even if it's, you know, pretty far removed from what you want or feel you deserve or worth. Just accept any communication right now, because it's, you know, I think he's got a lot of questions for you. He wants to know how he can heal and how he can understand this journey better. And he wants to know that you're okay. He wants to try and support you, even though, oh, wow, look, we've got woman holding a heart. That is so beautiful. So woman holding a heart. You know, he's going to be receptive to your love as well. I feel like you both need this reassurance, and you've got resilience. He's got patience. You know, you need to be really kind and patient with one another at the moment. This is mutual support. This is mutual support. This is helping each other and reintegrating, you know, communication, because I feel like it could have fallen by the wayside, so that you can support one another through this. We've got Angel of Strength and the Magician in the mirror. You know, understand that you are mirroring one another at the moment, but that you can be one another's strength. This is really beautiful, pile 2. I really hope that helped. Please do comment down below. Make sure you make a note of what pile you chose there, in case you want to come back and check out the other piles at a later date. It's always helpful to do that. There could be messages in there that do resonate for you, even if they're not resonating now. So, and please do hit that like button, or the not like button. Any engagement really, really helps my channel. It takes you 2 seconds. You know, I really appreciate this for you. I really appreciate you doing that for me. If you can go ahead and hit the like button, you know, it will help YouTube promote my videos a bit more, and help me get more viewers, which is going to help me reach more people, help more people. So thank you so much, pile 2. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can of course do that at happysouls1111.com. If you're interested in my classes or spirit release therapy or a twin flame connection check, you can also find that information on my website. So thank you so much. Let's go to pile 3. Whew, flying through this today. My chest is actually hurting while I'm talking so fast. I don't know where this is coming from today, but it needs to get out. That's what I'm saying. Right. Okay. Pile 3. What do you need to know about your connection? What are the current energies between you and your counterpart? What's going down, pile 3? Let's have a look-see. We're going to do the Divine Feminine on the left, the Divine Masculine on the right. We're going to look at current energies. We're going to look at how you're both thinking and feeling about the connection. We're going to see what you need to do to move forward for your highest good. So I'm going to pull some significators first for you guys. So what have we got? Divine Feminine. We've got self-love, Divine Masculine. We've got patience, and the connecting energy is will. Pardon me. I'm still not 100%, you know, I've been really ill. Getting back to full health, but not quite there yet. Okay, I'm using the Ethereal Tarot for you guys. Got that lovely big chunk of auralite on your pile. And let's go with the Divine Feminine first. Divine Feminine, what current energies you are in? We've got the Nine of Wands. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is beautiful. Masculine, where are you at? We've got the Artist reversed. This is an extra card in this deck. We've got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. And we've got the Magician. Okay, how's each party feeling and thinking about the connections? So Divine Feminine, we've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Eight of Wands reversed. And we've got the Empress reversed. For the masculine, we've got the Ace of Wands. Oh, lots of sexual energy here. Eight of Cups. And the Queen of Wands. Very fiery, passionate energy coming in from your masculine. But, you know, perhaps not actually doing anything about it at the moment, but it's there. Okay, what do you need to do to move forward, Divine Feminine? We've got the Two of Wands. We've got the Eight of Swords in reverse. And we've got the Six of Wands in reverse. Masculine, what do you need to do to move forward? We've got the Three of Swords. We've got the Page of Wands. And we've got the Ace of Swords. There's a real pattern in all of these readings for action to be taken. And, you know, as we head towards this 11-11 portal, it is pushing us towards union energy. So there may be, you know, a collective shift here, or this compulsion to do something, to take action, to make a change. Seems to be running through the collective right now. I'm going to use the Viceversa Tarot to get some connecting cards here, so we can look at the connecting energies as well. These are the energies you're both in, that you're both sharing relative to the questions we've asked. Right, I'm going to take that one because it fell out. That's the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Page of Cups. And we have the Fool. So the Divine Feminine is stepping into self-love. We've got a lot of nines on her side for the current energies. And I feel like she is at the summit of the mountain. She's just a few short steps away from reaching the top. And I'm hearing this is reaching that surrender state. This is reaching that beautiful new beginning of just feeling good, of feeling high on top of the mountain, high and happy. You know, she really is in a good place. All of her hard work is paying off, and this self-love is really starting to integrate in every aspect of herself. Like, she's connected with her intuition, she's feeling good about how she looks, she's feeling good inside, her emotions are a lot more balanced. She's really in such a good place, as I'm feeling with this Divine Feminine. The masculine, you know, I feel like he's moving in the right direction, but there's fear here. You know, he knows what he needs to move towards, but he's taking his time. This is very slow moving energy with the Divine Masculine here. He knows he needs to face his own darkness. I feel like this 10-10 portal has really triggered him. There's a little bit of resistance there. As I said, he's moving very slowly, very hesitantly, but he knows where he is moving to. So this is action, but it's slow action. And I feel like both of them has come into balance and harmony with this desire and will to make positive change. You know, both of them have their eyes on the goal, and it's very slow moving. It's, you know, a little bit hesitant, certainly for the masculine side, but it's there. For the feminine, we've got the Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles, and this really is about, you know, she has really stuck in there. She's, you know, she knows she's at the last leg of this journey, and she is fighting for it. She is ready to charge forward. She's gathering all of her strength now. You know, even though she's tired, she's gathering all of that strength she's got in reserve, digging really deep for as much as she can, and she's pressing forward because she's already self-fulfilled. You know, she knows she's so close, and she's ready for that new beginning. I feel a lot of excitement and this surge of kind of power from this Divine Feminine right now, that she's just so ready for this. She's so ready. She's, you know, she's like, come on, I'm doing this. I'm so close. I can feel it. I'm ready to you know, reap the rewards of my efforts. The masculine, as I said, he's in a much more hesitant place. We've got the Artist reversed, and this is really about, you know, having that vision and at least designing it, at least, you know, not being, it's not an action-oriented card, but it's this understanding of I need to paint a new picture for how my life's going to look. And I feel like he's not ready to do that yet. He's still got some darkness to face. And this 1010 portal, he didn't feel quite ready for it. He didn't feel quite ready to bring everything to completion and to rush through his healing. He's really trying to hold back and just get more grounded, just get more connected to, to his 3D self. He's not quite ready to dive into the spiritual aspects of this journey, and he's not in a good enough place to really idealize how it could look and to begin visualizing what he wants. He's not quite there. And this Knight of Pentacles energy, as the connecting energy, again, it shows us this desire to create change, to get really creative about making new plans, but that it's also standing still. Yeah, there's no action here. This is very slow moving energy, which the Divine Feminine may find very frustrating because she's already at the precipice. Yeah, she's ready, but your masculine isn't. But you're about to move into surrender, like full surrender, like really feeling just so good. So, this is a positive place to be. He's moving in the right direction. He's just a little bit more slow. Now, I think I've said in all the past, I think it's relevant for everyone. As we approach this 11-11 union portal, the energies are really pressuring us to move towards union, and those energies are being attacked. They attract a lot of darker forces that are going to try and meddle with and disrupt these energies. And I feel this is what's happening. She may be feeling a bit doubtful and triggered and confused and, putting her mask back on and being uncertain of what's real and what isn't. This is when we're going back to, after having so much faith, just thinking, I'm crazy. You arrive at this journey and you think you're crazy. I feel like she's revisiting those kind of feelings of just feeling unbalanced and detached. And she's frustrated by the lack of change in her masculine, is what I'm hearing as well. And this has distorted her feminine energy. This is what's making that last leg up the mountain a bit of a slog, because this doubt's crept in. She's become impatient. She's become frustrated with a lack of forward movement, and it's distorted her energy. It's taken her out of alignment. So I really feel like, even though the energies surrounding her are really strong right now, that on an emotional level, in terms of what she's feeling and thinking, she's allowing these intrusive thoughts to take hold. And you need to be really mindful of not going there, of bringing yourself back into balance, of not allowing those intrusive, negative, self-limiting thoughts to come into play, of trusting the forward momentum, even though it's not moving at the pace you want, it's moving forward. The masculine, I feel like, is feeling this renewed, desire to begin and to start planning, to start moving forward, but he's just not confident enough to do that yet. There's still some of this inner journey work that needs to be done before he can take action, before he can fully grasp that wand. He's feeling very passionate. There's a tremendous amount of passion and really sexy, like kind of, I feel like he fantasizes about you a lot, and he's really in this energy of wanting and feeling, you're just so desirable to him right now. But he's also holding back, because he's doing this inner work, and there's this reluctance, this hesitance, this fear in him, because he can't quite see the light yet. He's still not fully connected to his intuition. I'm really guided by how the moon is, only partially visible in both of these cards. Like, he's not got the full picture yet. He's not really trusting himself yet. He's not trusting this journey. And so he's not daring to believe. He's not daring to paint this new picture of how it could be. I feel like there could be some light-hearted, gentle communication between you two at the moment. The connecting energy is this Page of Cups. Again, this is very slow-moving romance. There's not a great deal going on here, but it's at least something. And if that's not already happening, then both parties are wanting to do that, to just connect, at least in a very playful, kind of gentle way, just to keep the momentum going, just to keep, the communication alive. There's a need to connect in a bit more of a romantic, kind of emotionally expressive way. So that may or may not be happening for you, but it's definitely how both parties are wanting things to move and feeling and thinking about things at the moment. In terms of how you need to move forward, Divine Feminine, you've got the Two of Wands. You need to make a decision now, okay? You have got the full picture. It's your own insecurity and fears that are clouding your judgment. And this is what you need to release with this Eight of Swords here. You need to release these self-limiting beliefs. You need to be patient. And you need to trust that victory is going to be yours. That you're so close to victory, to union victory. And it, you know, when I say so close, I don't necessarily mean next week. But you have to trust that you're moving in the right direction. You are on the right track. And you just need to bring yourself back into balance. Your masculine is still healing. And for some of them, that, you know, this is a Three of Swords. This could be karmic pain. I'm feeling like this is karmic pain that's done and dusted, because one of these swords is already kind of slipping out. It's upside down, which suggests to me, you know, it's the pain that remains rather than the connection. But he's still healing. And, you know, he does need to come forward in some way. I feel like he needs to make an offer. The sacral connecting light in twins represents a very important stage in the twin flame journey. Sexual union, which can happen well before full union, but sexual union is a big trigger. When twins connect sexually, an orgasm is the closest you will ever get to God, to source energy. That's why it's so euphoric. But when twins come together sexually and they experience this together and simultaneously, what they're actually doing is connecting back to source. It's an important stage of the journey that triggers all kinds of new lights to come on. And I feel like this masculine, you know, I feel bad saying this because I don't want to be like a bully, you know, you've got to have sex. That sounds so harsh. But I feel like this is really going to help bring a new level of closeness to you. And he's really feeling that. I think he's feeling like, you know, and the divine feminine may be resistant to this because she's holding out for the full Monty. Yeah, she might be saying, no, you're not just going to come in and shag me and bugger off again. But just be open-minded and trust that this sexual intimacy is a really valuable and beautiful part of the journey. He also needs to grasp the truth, and I feel like he's waking up to it, but he needs to be really honest with himself, with his divine feminine, about his feelings. And, you know, there's a leap of faith required here, and this is the connecting energy, and I feel this is for both of you. But it's really interesting that this man is walking towards the feminine side, so I think it's him that's going to come forward to that offer. And he's holding a baton here also, you know, he's holding a wand. That's a very phallic symbol. And I feel like he is going to come forward, and it might be very sexy and kind of, you know, flirty oriented. But if the divine feminine can get into this energy of acceptance and allowance, I feel like it's going to be a really powerful step for both of you to allow that to happen. So we're going to get some oracle cards as well. We have got transformation, and it's all good. Trust in this process, divine feminine. You are, you know, coming out of this beautiful cocoon, you know, blooming into this incredible butterfly. Literally, this transformation is gorgeous for you. And he's also got changes, you know, and he's got self-love. So we've got massive syncs here. You know, he's understanding that he needs to start giving himself that love. There's some understanding him. You know, he's being asked to identify that truth, and I think that truth is being downloaded. This is also a number 5, you know, the number of change, the number of learning, of embracing new lessons, of the truth being illuminated, which is the need for self-love. Divine feminine, we've got surrender, and we've got realization. This is a number 3 card, you know, surrender. You're so close. You know, you need to realize how close you are. This, you know, there's a keyhole here that this person is looking through, and she's looking into this light. She's looking into the light. You've got the key for this already. You just need to allow it. You just need to be patient and get yourself out of this distorted energy that has made you doubt. The unexpected. So, you know, blue moon energy, I think this is your masculine coming forward when you least expect it. Be open to unexpected offers, and the expansion and growth that's going to create for you, the beautiful changes that's going to allow you to ground your connection in a much deeper way. And look, we've got the masculine. The unexpected, the masculine, and growth. So, you know, if he's coming forward and you would normally have this boundary up that, there's no jiggy for you. Well, we're not in a relationship yet. You're not coming in and just jiggy and running away again. But just accept that this is actually going to be a really positive, loving step for you too. Again, you've got change. accept this change, accept this cycle. You know, it might not be the change you want, but in this card, this woman is pushing away the egg. She's pushing away her own rebirth because she's stuck in this doubtful energy, these limiting beliefs, these limiting ideas about what this connection has to look like. That needs to be released. Anxiety needs to be released. For the masculine, we've got balance. It's about getting his head out of the clouds. And we've also got boundaries. And, you know, this is a feminine card. It's the number 3. This is about him pushing your boundaries. And he knows, I think, instinctively that he needs to do that in order that he can bring things back into balance. We've got resilience. You know, he's going to be really tough. He's going to push through despite his fears. And we've got abundance. This has come up in all piles. And power. You know, this is the divine triggering him to acknowledge his own power, to acknowledge all the gifts that are already available to him. And I feel like he's really beginning to see his feminine as a gift, that he's ready to move forward in this connection and embrace all of the opportunity that's being presented to him. We've got sovereignty, Queen of the Moon, and pleasure. Sovereignty can refer, of course, to your protection and your spiritual guidance. So there's definitely a call here to make sure that he's maintaining that. Maybe he needs to get cleared. He needs to be grounded and protected. As I said, there's a lot of dark energies moving throughout the collective at the moment, trying to disrupt these union energies. So just be mindful of that. And also give him the space to you know, create a pleasurable connection between you two. Don't be too anti that. Don't have your boundaries up. Protection has come up for you too. So you've got protection and sovereignty. To be sovereign means to be in full possession of your soul. So that's a warning to both of you. You may need a clearing. You may need to get clear. You may need to place more protection around both of you to stay safe. Wow. That was a fast and furious session. Thank you so much. Please do like and share and subscribe. And if you don't want to share and subscribe, please do at least like. It only takes you 2 minutes. It makes such a difference to my channel. Even if you hit the downvote, if you don't like it, all of that engagement helps my channel grow. If you'd like a private reading for me, you can do that at Happy Souls 1111. See you next time. Bye.